And we're thrilled right now to be joined by Liz Benn, the Mets' new Director of Major League Operations. Liz, thanks for spending a few minutes with us. Why was this so important for you? Why was this position so important for you? And do you look at yourself in some ways as a trailblazer?
So I think that I was thinking for a while that I would consider at some point moving to a club from the commissioner's office. I didn't think that would happen yet, but this opportunity presented itself, and really every single box was checked that I would want going to a club. I mean, just speaking to Billy Eppler initially, I couldn't imagine a better GM to work under, and just his leadership seems incredible. It's just generally a great team in the front office to come into right now. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be coming into this. And it's tough to kind of see myself as a trailblazer. I know that a lot of the girls who I've worked with previously, they've told me that I'm a role model, and I trust them, but it's kind of hard to see myself in that light because in my mind, there are so many women who have come before me to do these incredible things. And I look up to them so much, like Jean Afterman from the Yankees, Kim Ng with the Marlins, who I got the chance to work with. So it's hard to see myself in that way.
Knowing that some people see you that way, do you feel a responsibility to those that will come after you?
Absolutely. I think that there's definitely some pressure to do a really good job. I think that I put that pressure on myself anyway in any environment that I'm in, whether it's school, work, coaching, whatever that happens to be. But I know that people are looking up to me and people are watching what I do. And so I want to do the best job possible. And that's not necessarily because of my gender or the fact that I'm the first in this role for the Mets, but it's just kind of the way that I generally like to work.
Do you put pressure on yourself knowing what's on your shoulders?
Absolutely. And again, I think that that's something that I've also done because of my athletic background. I think that having played baseball my whole life, I expect the best from myself. I expect myself to execute every pitch perfectly, even if that's unrealistic. But that kind of goals for myself, goal setting has been really important for me. And I carry that into every aspect of my life.
So fill us in on what your day-to-day responsibilities will be, Liz, with the Mets.
So the main responsibility will be roster construction and management and transactions, alongside, of course, Billy Eppler and the three AGMs and the rest of the baseball operations team. So really excited to get involved in that. In addition to that, just anything related to the major league players and staff. So the major league payroll I will be working on, contracts of the coaches and performance staff, things related to clubhouse travel. So really anything that is involved with the major league players, I will be working on.
I know you grew up in Toronto. Now, baseball is not the number one sport in Toronto. It's very popular there, but you grew up in a hockey environment. How did you get so into baseball?
My mother is from Jersey City, and so
There you go.
she will raise you a baseball fan. And I have an older brother. He played baseball from a young age and needed somebody to practice with, and I was there. So my mom threw a glove on my hand, and my brother and I were playing catch in the backyard from as young as I can remember, maybe even 2 years old. So she passed on her love for the Yankees actually to me, but definitely grew up a Yankee fan because of her.
How much do you look to soak up? You've got a guy like Sandy Alderson in the front office, one of the great veterans in the game. You've got Billy Eppler, who you're working with. How much do you take from, and how much do you look to take from those guys in getting you to where you want to get to in the industry?
I just think they have so much experience in so many different settings too. I mean, there are guys in the front office who come from just a plethora of teams, and every team has such a different way of operating. Just having those different perspectives come together, that creates a whole new perspective and a whole new approach. So I'm just so excited to learn from them, learn from their experience. Yesterday, I kind of had my first really serious baseball operations call. And yes, I was trying to kind of understand it from the professional environment, but I was also just nerding out the whole time thinking, wow, this is so cool that this is my job. And
Wow.
just how they talk about players was just fascinating to me. And I learned a lot in that hour-long call just by getting to listen to these guys talk.
How much does the fact that the Mets are expected to be contenders ramp up your excitement level in your first year on the job?
It gives so much more motivation to try so hard every day to kind of do my best and see how I can contribute to the team. I think one, obviously, it's a contender team this year, and so the goal is a World Series, and that's really exciting, obviously. But another thing to think about too is that the farm system has some really good prospects in it, and so how do we win a championship this year, but then continue that pipeline of success going into future years, so that we're sustaining that playoff and championship expectation for ourselves.
Liz, congratulations. Best of luck on the new job. We look forward to chatting with you again down the road.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.